welcome to this week's episode of Work the Left Side. I'm joined by one half of Money Mountain, Sash himself. He's agreed to join me, sit down, have a chat, discuss some stuff, and looking forward to it. How you doing, dude?
Not bad, Nick. You know, it's always good to be Sash. It's always good to be one half of Money Mountain, one half of the fastest rising tag team in British wrestling today. So I'm doing great.
Awesome, dude. I must admit, every time I sort of seem to be going on the socials recently, you seem to be having a lot to say. I've always seen posts that you're putting out there, you know, talking about this, talking about that, whether it's to do with, you know, people that you're going up against at Tidal or through House of Pain. You've definitely always got something to say.
Nick, I'm everywhere. You understand? I am everywhere. That is the gift and the curse of being one of the fastest rising stars of British wrestling. And the fact that I have something to say, of course, you see something, you see someone, I'm the sort of person that would voice their opinion. Simple as that.
So, as well, we'll address the upcoming weekend show at Tidal first. We'll get that out of the way because I'm sure that's going to be fresh and that's what you're thinking about at the parish on Sunday. And so what's your expectations for Tidal?
For Tidal, you see, you had that homeless looking tramp memes who's been just talking absolute nonsense. Last time that we were there, last time when Money Mountain were at Tidal, we were supposed to debut actually last year, but that got postponed, and then they threw us into this crazy fatal four-way tag team match with a whole bunch of people. You know, you had Simon Miller in there, you had Amir Jordan, you had Rob Drake, you had Harry Singh, all these people in there. And the only thing that I got out of that one was they knew that the only way to get Money Mountain out of that match was to just cheat, break the rules, and you had this referee in there who simply did not care. So I went up to Simon Miller after that match, and I told him straight. I told Memes this. I said, without this guy, even though Simon Miller, he's also a clown, Memes, he's nothing. He's just one of these new age wrestling fans who wants to be a wrestler. He's got the size going for him. He's got some charisma, but the man's not in shape. He's got a dirty beard. He's got long hair. He looks like a tramp. He talks like a nerd. And I told him that without Simon Miller, this guy's got nothing. Of course, being mentally weak as he is, he took the bait. He's gone and found himself his tag team partner, Adonis Payne. And on Sunday, we've got a traditional tag team match against Memes and Adonis Payne. And these boys, they're not going to know what's hitting. I am looking forward to it. I've done my homework, and it's going to be, like I always say, all work is easy work. You understand, Nick? All work is easy work.
Nice, like it. Got to sort of say, I think you've got to be the favourites going into that match. I think it's going to be a very uphill battle for Memes and Payne. So I think it'll make.
Of course, the favourites. Money Mountain, we are the total package when it comes to tag team wrestling. I'm not talking about Lex Luger here, Nick, all right? I'm talking about the total package. I'm talking about everything. We've got speed, experience, cunningness, power, strength, determination. We got everything. Name me one other tag team that in 2 years have captured 3 belts across the British independent circuit. You can't. Nope. 3 different belts, one sitting behind me, across 3 different promotions. We're the only team that have done it. That's why I keep saying that we are the fastest rising tag team in British wrestling today. These boys, even though I know Adonis Payne is a tag team champion down in UBW, I know this, all right? But they haven't got the experience that I have. They haven't got the mental warfare that I have. They haven't got the ruthlessness that Gallas has. So it's just going to be total destruction. One compactor, and then you're going to hear 1, 2, 3.
Nice. Well, talking about the experience, I'm going to rewind it a little bit and tick off a few generic boxes. Obviously, you know, Sash fancies taking on the world of wrestling.
Cash money, Sash. That's cash money, Sash. Cash money clothing, cash money, Sash.
Cash Money Sash decide, yep, one day decides I'm going to be a wrestler. I'm going to go smash this. Was House of Pain your first stop? That sort of where you stepped through the doors and just thought, right, here we go.
That's right, Nick. But this wasn't anything recent. All right, this is my first time here. So I actually started back wrestling back in the early 2000s, back when House of Pain was RBW, or a part of RBW, which was based down in London. All right, it was RBW / Jerry Norton Promotions, if you remember back then. But yeah, so I was a teenager then. I was about 16, 17 years old. And at the time, the trainer was Keith Meyer. Everyone knows Keith Meyer. 40, 50-year veteran Keith Meyer, all right? So I went to train there. And after Keith wasn't there for that long, but he was the original sensei. He taught me the basics. And when Keith moved on, Stixx, one of your former guests and my former opponent and one of my current trainers, he took over. And so I trained there under Stixx, and we had a lot of people come through the school who then went on to become bigger names. We've had Chris Travis was one of them, Malicious Paul Malin, Joseph Connors. You had SC Supreme, Textbook Dave Breaks. All of these people who then becoming the staple of the British scene back in the early 2000s. That's the class I came from. All right. So what happened was that once I wrestled for a few years, I didn't have that high aspirations back then. Not in wrestling. I had it in business, in property, for my studies. That's where my ambitions came. But for wrestling, all I wanted to do was just to reach a certain level. And once me and Stixx faced off each other in a different promotions, it was the student versus the teacher. All right, classic case. All right, Stixx thought to himself, I haven't taught this guy everything he knows. I know more than him. I'm bigger, I'm smarter. Whatever the case may be. What happened at the end of that match? Cash Money Sash, who I wasn't known as back then, I got the victory, and I thought to myself, do you know what? I've done everything that I wanted to do in wrestling. I became a champion. I beat my teacher. That's that. And I left. I left the scene. I didn't watch anything, Nick. I didn't watch the British scene. I didn't watch WWE. I didn't watch TNA. I didn't watch anything. And then slowly, a few years ago, I started sort of getting back into it. I saw some of my peers, some of my friends doing amazing things that I saw online. I saw the crowds were getting bigger, they were getting wilder. But I also saw, this is the reason why I came back. I also saw a whole bunch of fanboys, a whole bunch of wannabe cosplay wrestlers coming into the scene, pretending to be a wrestler, and they just didn't hack it. When you leave something and you think you've left it in this good state, in a place where someone can come and pick it up and just make it better. That's what I thought was going to happen, but that didn't happen. You had all these wannabe pricks who just, like I said, they're just pandering to the fans. They're not. When you look someone in the eyes, and you know that they don't believe in what they're saying and what they're doing, that's what I thought. I need to come back. I need to come back, and I need to teach every single person here a lesson, because I'm a whole level above the current crop. Most people at the moment are here. Cash Money Sash came back up here. So I came back. I didn't even tell Stixx. I just walked back into House of Pain. I just picked up where I left off, and I just kicked it up a notch. I went in and thought, you know what? My physical body is in a good state. My mentality, that's in a good state. I have made my money. I've made my investments. I've made all these good decisions outside of wrestling, and I feel fresher than anyone else, because I've been out the game for 15 years. Everyone's been in the game taking a whole bunch of knocks, a whole bunch of punches and kicks and wear and tear in front of no one for 15 years. I come back fresh as a daisy, smarter than everyone else, and that's when I recruit Gallus before Money Mountain, and I want to say the rest is history, but we're not done yet.
Yeah, not yet. It's, how did you go about recruiting then? Was it somebody? Do you have an eye on him straight away? Did he get your attention? Did you sort of?
To be honest, Nick, it wasn't a case of. I mean, it was. So I want to say that it was a full-on like scouting mission, but it wasn't that. You know, I was in Cyprus, I was partying, I was with some friends. We were on this yacht, and then I just heard this wild screaming coming from a cave, and like we thought, what is this? What's going on here? So we parked the boat. We went on a little adventure. We walk in there, and I just see Gallus in there just slaughtering a whole bunch of goats. And I was like, yo, I can deal with this guy. So I had a chat with him. I didn't know what he was saying. He can't speak, but he sort of understood what I was saying. My passion came across, Nick. You understand? And then I didn't really want to bring him onto the boat. You know, he was covered in goat's blood. I didn't want to do anything like that. So essentially, I got a crew together, put him into a shipping container, and we got him back into the UK.
Nice.
Sort of parked him outside the house of Pain School. And, we started off. I started saying to him, if you can do this, you can do that. I'll give you a few goats here and there, a few cows, a few animals to slaughter. And then he started getting better. He started responding to that sort of treatment. And now he's like me. He's a 3-time tag team champion.
Nice. So they say money talks. You know, who needs words when you've got the mighty green?
Exactly. Gallus doesn't have words, but he doesn't need words. Me and him communicate, and that's all that is to it. He's my best friend in professional wrestling. He's the only guy that I like. He's the only guy that I trust, and vice versa. That's why we gel so well together in that ring.
As you said, 3-time tag champs already. Any other promotions you've got your eyes on? Any other belts you want to get back?
Listen, Nick, a lot of people, they want to talk about, I want to go to this promotion, that promotion, and but it's not about that. For me, who pays? Who is valuable out there? You know, if you're a promotion that values tag team wrestling, first of all, that's me. I'm a tag team wrestler. That's what got me into wrestling. That's what I am. That's what I do. Yes, I do some singles matches here and there. But that's through personal choice. But if the promotion is valuable, if they value tag team wrestling, if there is something that I see that would be of benefit to me, then that's where we're going. Now that can be Progress, that can be WWE, that can be NWA, that can be wherever the case may be. It doesn't matter. You need to prove to me, okay, I'm the asset here. All right, I'm the one that's going to come to your promotion. That's going to put eyeballs on your promotion, on your product. I'm the one that's going to contribute. You got to prove to me that this place is the right place for me. All right. Number one, a lot of wrestlers, a lot of pro wrestlers these days, they have it the other way around. They try to beg people, oh, give me a chance, let me do this, let me show you how many flips I can do in this match. Let me show you I can do it. I can give you a 7-star match. Let me show. Like, no. I'm the asset here. I'm the product. I know my worth. You understand? So it can be anywhere. At the moment, for example, I mean, I'll give you one example. True Grit, one of your previous guest, JC. By the way, funny story. I met JC also back in the early 2000s. I knew JC when he had hair. All right.
Yeah.
Those long ginger locks. All right. I knew him back then. But for example, we're now working with True Grit. They haven't got tag team belts at the moment, but JC has told me, he's shown me that he is valuing. He wants to showcase tag team wrestling. That's where we come in. Now, if they get tag team championship belts down the line, then naturally Money Mountain will be in contention for that. But at the moment, he told me his plan for tag team wrestling, so we're part of that.
Nice. Yeah, I would imagine when it comes to True Grit, obviously I know they're doing the whole YouTube thing at the minute where they're trying to put it into, they're doing it as like series. So series 1 was the build up to Enserico versus Rampage. Series 2 was the build up to crowning a women's title holder. I always kind of had it in my head. I kind of thought that either Series 3 or Series 4, the main focus will be the tag division. I can see it happening at some point. So yeah, I can see that happening very sooner rather than later. So yeah, obviously you guys have got to be, in contention for that. There are a few other good teams out there, though. I mean, Crash Boat would get a shout.
Crash Boat is one of those teams that when I first got back into pro wrestling, when I first got back onto the scene, they were one of the ones that people were talking about. So I took a look. All right. Now, let me just tell you this. All right. I respect every single person that gets into professional wrestling ring. All right. You can say what you want about me. You can say how I come across, how I talk, what I say. You can say all of that. But I respect people who get in there, because people get injured, people have died, people have sacrificed a whole bunch of things. Now, do I like what you do in that ring? That's a different story. Do I like what you represent in that ring? That's a different story. Do I like the way you look, the way you act, the way you behave? That's a different story. Now, talking about Crash Boat, they are without a doubt one of the most charismatic tag teams on the scene right now. I mean, you got Jack Bandicoot, who looks like he's been chiseled out from marble. I mean, and this guy is so explosive. Him and Jet Marshall, two of the most explosive professional wrestlers on the scene today. Now, is Jack Bandicoot clever? I don't know, because he is clearly mentally unstable. He clearly has this little scrunched up face that looks like Play-Doh. All right, that's what he looks like. You've got this other guy, Pop Punk Kid. Again, very charismatic guy. There is no way that man is a kid. He's at least a 40-year-old tramp. All right, you look at him, and he's got no business calling himself a kid. And this type of thing that just annoys me. All right, this type of thing that just annoys me. They just come out there, start dancing. I mean, you've got, like I said, you've got one guy who's clearly unstable, one guy who's just he looks like like I said, a homeless tramp. He's got that horrible beard. It's not trimmed. It's not groomed. It's just ridiculous. All right, so I would love to get in there again. Traditional tag team match. None of this. Scramble or Stixx ways or whatever the case may be that some people want to put in there, looking like some sort of old SmackDown game that we used to like to play as kids, anything like that. No. I just want to get in there, whoop them, and show everyone, because I was commentating. I watched the first series of the True Grit. I watched all of the YouTube episodes because True Grit came to me and they wanted me as a commentator for a couple of their shows. So I did my homework. All right. And Crash Boat, extremely popular, extremely difficult to handle it in that ring. But I want to show everyone that Money Mountain are up here and everyone else are down here. So yes, Crash Boat are someone that we do have our eyes on. And it's going to happen. Sooner or later, it's bound to happen.
I was talking to JC last week, and obviously found out that him and Wing Commander Nash won the tag titles at the last Pro Wrestling for You show. So maybe that's another couple of titles you could go for if you fancy taking on JC and Wing Command. Everybody wants to punch Nash, so I can't imagine that not being appealing.
First of all, Wing Commander Nash is one of the biggest clowns in this business there is. His mere presence just annoys me. All right. That's number one. Number two, would I feel bad about wrestling and potentially inflicting violence on someone who's brought me into their promotion like JC? No, because in that ring, he knows and I know, of course, it's all about the money. It's all about what we're getting paid. And he knows in that ring, it's all business. Sometimes some people, it is personal. So if the opportunity was to arise, then of course, that without a doubt, okay, and I wouldn't even say sorry. I would apologize to him for them to take in the match, but they know what they're getting into. JC would know what he's getting into. But speaking of that show, did you see who was in the main event? Did you see what happened on that particular show there, Nick?
I did not know. I've not had a chance to check it yet.
You missed it. You missed out. That was one of those. That is a promotion. PWF is one of those promotions that very rarely finds a star like moi and gives them the star treatment. You see, we had a live band playing for the main event. All right, every single wrestler got their own theme song, or not their own theme. They got a song played. I was the only one who got my theme song played. I was the only one who was able to get on stage with the band and have my moment with them. That's a promotion who finds a star and they treat him like a star. And I'm pretty sure if you look around the whole scene, all of these people who claim to be massive stars, have they been on a stage with a live band rocking out to their music? Hmm? How many have they? How many? How many in the last 2 years have done that? Name the promotion.
Outside of WWE, I can't think of anyone personally.
Exactly. All of these promotions, all of these people in the British scene that claim they're this and claim that, not a single one. And like you said, outside of WWE, not a single promotion, not a single wrestling company has done that. But and that makes me the only wrestler in this scene that has had their theme played by a live band for the main event, and I was on stage with them. Am I Triple H? No, I'm not. Am I on his level? You're damn sure I am.
Nice. Let's say it's all about the game. So I'm going to rewind a little bit because you mentioned when you first got into the scene before you became as experienced and as high up as you are now. You mentioned a name that I like to talk about if people were around him at the time, which was Chris Travis. I'd like to get a memory just to kind of keep the memories going. If you've got any sort of funny or just a wrestling based memory of Chris.
Chris Travis. There's certain things that I'm going to keep to myself just because that's between that's between me and a few individuals. So that's that I'm going to say. But I will tell you this: there is when Chris Travis came out before he looked more professional, so to say. He had these bright yellow little tracksuit pants. I don't know if you remember these or
yeah,
they are on YouTube. But he used to come out and he used to always do this during his entrance. And Chris Travis, yeah, baby. We ended up calling him T-Rex arms for that, and made him really, really self-conscious about it. And this was a guy that was operating at a higher level than us at the time. But I just liked the fact that every time he came out in the crowd, as soon as he did that and he saw us in the crowd, he knew that there was me and my group of friends that were just there taking the piss out of him. And then he quickly tried to change that. But it was always, whenever you see anyone do this, this is the Chris Travis T-Rex arms. So Bret Hart had this, Trav had that.
Nice, love it. Yeah, that's fine. That'll do me. Like I say, it's just nice just to have a memory from people who obviously knew him and can share the memories, kind of thing. So, yeah. So obviously, we talked about True Grit. We talked about your tag titles, pro wrestling for you. I haven't been to a Tidal show for a while. I do need to get to the one on Sunday. Who's rocking their tag team titles at the minute, or do they have tag team titles at the minute?
They do have tag team titles. They actually, the team that we were supposed to face for the tag team titles before they switch around was those two ginger-haired Dudley Boy wannabes, Reese and Rogan. All right. Yeah. Those two idiots. They had the title belts when we were supposed to face them, and then that show got rejigged. No, it was postponed. Actually, it was postponed, and I thought Reese and Rogan would do the gentlemanly thing and wait till they can face their biggest threat in Money Mountain. But no, they didn't. They ducked us. They ducked and dodged like they want to make themselves out to be the sort of Yorkshire tough guys that they are, but they're just a bunch of dotters anyway. But they had the tag team belts at the time, and like I said, when it comes to tag team wrestling, I like a traditional tag team match. 2 teams, 2 on one side, 2 on the other, 4 men in the ring. Let's see what happens. All right. May the better team win. That's what I like. Unfortunately, Reese and Rogan got a little bit too confident, too cocky, and they accepted one of those tag team scramble gauntlet matches. So sometimes we all do. Sometimes we all do. All right, for different reasons. Okay, if the money's right, you take it. But whatever the case may be. Anyway, long story short, they lost the tag team belts. For the life of me, I can't think of who's actually got them at the moment. But I'm not thinking about that. It doesn't matter. It could, even if Reese and Rogan had the title tag team belts right now, it wouldn't matter. My focus is on memes and Adonis Payne. That's all there is. That's what I've been training for. That's what the training camp has been for. That's what the match footage has been for. All of that, all of my preparation for Sunday has been against memes and Adonis Payne. Once we get them out of the way, then we focus on what's happening next. Tidal are now operating this ranking system, which whatever. It just means we'll have to take a little bit longer to actually get there, because I know there's a few teams that's ahead of us. That's fine. If it was me, I would give the biggest stars the biggest opportunity, because stars bring fans, they bring eyeballs, they bring money. But they want to do the ranking thing, fine. It just means more teams for us to whoop. But I'm not thinking about the tag team champions. Would I like Reese and Rogan to still be the champs? Of course I would. I would have loved that opportunity there. But I know they're doing bits on the scene at the moment. I don't know that they're the current BWR tag team champions. They're facing Act 2 and other two dossers that I don't like at Wrestle Carnival. I've got my eyes everywhere, Nick. You understand? Everywhere. All right. People talking about students of the game, talking about wanting to be the best, preparing. I am that. I watch everything. I know where everyone is. I know exactly what's happening. So putting them to the side, my only focus is on memes and Adonis Payne this Sunday. I do have a match for House of Pain on Friday, but that's not a tag team match. That's more of a sparring thing. I've got a few ideas that I want to test out. I want to test out my cardio as well, and I know who I'm going to be facing, so I can't wait to whoop him as well.
Okay, so is it as obviously a mystery opponent then at House of Pain?
It's not a mystery opponent, but I don't know if he knows who he's facing. So I don't want to jinx it, you know. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Sun Tzu, baby. This is mental warfare. All of this starts even before we get to the ring. You understand? That's why some people they're scared to voice their opinions, but I'm not. But I get in there. I get in there quick. Get in there first. And once I'm in here, once I'm living rent free in your head, which is the best sort of way to live, unless you're my tenants, because I'm putting the rent up on my tenants as often as I can. But when I'm in your head, I'm living there rent free, so I'm already winning. That's what we got the title match to begin with. Okay, Means doesn't stand a chance. You may think he does, but he doesn't.
I was going to say, you do seem to be very sort of forward. I mentioned it at the start. Everywhere that I'm looking on social media at the minute, you know, you're there, you're talking, you know, your lounge is looking very comfy and chilled in your seat, but you've always got, you know, something to say. And that's something that has been missing from British wrestling for a long time, in my opinion, is the, you know, getting your voice out there, getting yourself on camera. And if they want to call it a promo, call it a promo, but, you know, just getting your opinions across. But you seem to be very comfortable, you know, doing that.
Very, very comfortable. There's two reasons. There's two. Number one, when you say that it's missing, I'll tell you why it's missing. People are cowards. People are cowards. That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying that you're people are wannabe professional wrestlers. Okay, they want to be this generation at the moment, and I don't want to jump on the bandwagon like some people saying, "Oh, this generation, that, and this." Okay, but some of us, there is some truth to that. You had all these people who grew up on professional wrestling either at the same time that I did or a little bit later, and nowadays all they're concerned about is what gear they're going to wear and what sort of comic book anime tribute it's got on that one, or what sort of character or like Easter egg thing, or like, oh, I want to dress up as so and so and do this because they were my favorite. Whatever. Who gives a shit? All right, no one gives a shit about any of this. This is not professional wrestling. You didn't see Ric Flair go and dress up like his favorite wrestler growing up. You didn't see the Rock and Triple H come out as their favorite wrestlers. No. They had their own thing. They're their own mindset. They were focused on one thing. All right. So that's number one. All of these people, and you can go on Twitter. All right. I for the longest time I was so proud that I wasn't on Twitter. Okay. But then one of my good friends, who is just, again, doing bits. She's ruling. You can say what you want, but she is one of the biggest stars in British wrestling today as well. Ivy, she told me, she said, Cash Money Sash, you need to get on Twitter. It's you like promoting yourself. This is a different avenue for it. I said, okay, cool. And I get on there, and I've never seen so much shit, so much nonsense in my entire life. You got everyone who's either pretending to support each other. Oh, let's all be friends. Let's all support each other. Oh yeah, it's just people who are just like who are just tagging their friends, even though they can be absolute dog shit. They'll be tagging them. Oh, give this person a chance. Give that person a chance. Do this. And don't be mean. And don't say this. And don't say that. Instead of focusing on the task at hand, which is you are trying to win your match. What else are you trying to do? If you don't win your match, and if you lose, unless you are a big enough star that you can get away with it, that you can still provide value, then no one. Then if you lose your match, you lose that person, you lose the winning person, and you can't progress to the next thing. How are you going to become a champion if you lose? How are you going to remain champion if you lose? How are you going to make an impact if you lose? So that's the number one thing. On Twitter, you got there's the most amount of two-faced. Is two-faced a word? I don't know. I speak 4 or 5 languages. I can't even count. But you've got a whole bunch of cowards, a whole bunch of bitches on Twitter, just pretending to be everyone's friends, and pretending to be all this supporting each other and whatever. And number two as well, no one's got anything to say. No one's got anything to actually say. Again, that just goes back to number one. They'll just, not only are they scared to say anything, but they literally have nothing to say. Their brain is they're just lacking that sort of cognitive behavior. They just can't do it. And the third thing, which is probably the most important thing as well, one thing that a very very positive man has said, Kevin Hart. He said the biggest promoter, it will always be you. Okay, it doesn't matter who you're signed to. It doesn't matter if it's WWE. It doesn't matter if it's Progress, Rev Pro, Matchroom, Premier League, whatever. It doesn't matter if Manchester United or Man City are your promoter. The biggest promoter is always going to be you. You are always going to be the one that makes the biggest noise. Okay, that's it. For example, Nick, if you don't go on social media to tweet about your podcast, who will? Yeah. Who will? Maybe 1 or 2 people here and there, but you're the one driving this thing forward. I'm the one that drives Cash Money Clothing. I'm the one that drives Cash Money Stash forward. I'm the one that brings that. No one promotes. There's not a single promoter in this country that promotes their shows more than I do. Because when I'm on it, I bring value. I understand the market. I bring value. And everyone else are just happy to ride along. I don't give a damn what your name is in this industry. I don't care what level you're on. There's just certain things that Cash Money Stash is just better at. Promoting is one of them. Some people are just happy. Some people aren't. I'm extremely hungry, but I'm also humble.
Yeah, and in this day and age of like Twitter, you got your TikToks and your YouTubes and stuff. Obviously, on this, it just strikes me that more people aren't doing it. Doing like following your suit. And as you sort of said, if they've got nothing to say, they've got nothing to say, or if they're too scared to say it, they're too scared to say it. But I think you make a valid point. You just think in this day and age, you want to get yourself out there. You want to get, that's why I liked the idea of the True Grit series on YouTube. I think everybody's going to get a chance to shine. They're all, hopefully, James will push promos. They'll stick a camera in the face and get them to, start riling people up or, building feud.
Sometimes you don't even want to hear what some people have to say. I mean, do you want to hear what Jack Bandicoot has to say? It's just going to be a whole bunch of nonsense. You don't want to hear it. You do want to hear what Cash Money Sash has to say. You definitely want to hear that. But certain people you don't want to hear from. And then when you do put a camera in their face, they have absolutely nothing to say. And it's just a whole bunch of nonsense. So yes and no to that. If the person's got charisma, by all means, let me hear what you have to say. If you're trying to get into my head, let me hear it. But you can't, because no one's on this level.
Yeah, but until they start doing it on a regular basis, nobody's going to get to that level. That's what I'm thinking, and that's what I don't know. It's just an aspect of British wrestling.
That's a them problem. That's a them problem. All right. That's a them problem. There's all these things you got to work on. All right. You can't just go and enter the first bodybuilding competition that you see and then expect to win. You can't just message a promoter and say, "Oh yeah, book me. Have you had a match yet? No. Have you had training? No. But I know I can win." You can't do that. People do need practice on these things. Okay. Sometimes, especially for me, I'm a natural at a lot of things. All right. Making money, I'm a natural at. Talking, I'm a natural at. All right. So being a winner, I'm a natural at. Some people need practice. Okay. All right. Getting girls on Tinder, Bumble, I'm a natural at. All right. But some people need practice. Some people need practice. Some people can't swipe right. All right. Some people can't express themselves. They need practice. And you see that. And going back to what you were saying, you can see some people are doing this a little bit more, but they don't know exactly what they're doing. They have no idea. All right. And that's again, they put that nonsense on social media, and you got their little cowardly friends. Yay, that was great. No, it wasn't. It was terrible. What you just did is an abomination, and it should be just taken off the internet. Actually, what should happen is you should create the flux capacitor. You should go back in time. You should be aborted. That's what you should do. Your parents should have worn a condom, and you should never have been born, because everything that they've done is a waste of time, a waste of energy, and it just riles me up. All right. But people don't say that because they're scared. Oh, I might get cancelled. Oh, this person might not like me. Oh, that person might say this. But if you're watching Twitter, Nick, if you're watching social media, the effect that Cash Money Sash has had, so it's sort of trickling. Okay, you can see it. I'm a humble man. I don't like attention. I don't like to brag. I don't like to talk too much. Okay, so I'm not going to start going down that route. But some people have seen it, and they're starting to pay attention, and they're starting to steal some of my methods, some of my techniques. All right, but they're not at my level. They're not doing what I'm doing. And I'm not going to tell them any of it. I'm not going to spill my secrets, okay? But if they want to have a go, have a go. But it's terrible, all right? It's terrible.
But they do say imitation, is the finest form of flattery. So take it as a compliment, dude.
I find it insulting. I find it insulting. I find it offensive, okay? If I really wanted to, actually, part of me finds it entertaining. Nick, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me finds it entertaining. I find it entertaining to see how bad things can get. All right. Now I can get my whole team to be on Twitter 24/7 and be sending out cease and desist letters I might even do that. I might every tweet that pisses me off, I might just send that out. I might just ring Mr. Musk right now and be like, yo, listen, you need to. There's something going on. Forget about what's happening down your neck of the woods. Take a look at the British wrestling scene on Twitter. It's all mad. You need to go and sort this out. But we'll see. We'll see.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, that to me is a massive part of wrestling. you know, when you look back over the years, you know, not to sort of obviously, you know, I'll put you in this category. You know, I'll mention your name alongside, you know, like Roddy Piper, you know, a guy that could come out and say what he wanted to say without any fear of, you know, repercussions. Somebody else that wasn't, you know, scared to piss people off. But to me, that's a pivotal part of wrestling. You know, you've got to have people like that in the business to, if nothing else, just to piss people off and give them a reason to, you know, turn up.
You see, Nick, I kind of understand what you're saying, but I kind of resent it too. I'm not trying to piss anyone off. Yes, okay. I see everyone else's actions as pissing me off. And how's that fair? You understand? Why is it? Why do I have to be part of a show when I look around and I see a whole bunch of fat people? All right, I don't want to see that. That makes me angry. You know, why aren't these people being considered to me? You know, why don't you go and lose some weight before you come to the show? Why don't you have a shower before you come to the show? All right, what's so bad about that? You know, why don't you try and look attractive? Why don't you bring a few attractive women to the show? Okay, why does it all have to be a fat black t-shirt, neck beard, just sitting around there? Why? And when I point it out, when I ask these simple questions, I get painted as the bad guy. When I ask why do you not put sniffer dogs at the doors so that when someone walks through and they stink, then you turn them away? Why can't that be a thing? That seems reasonable to me. Don't you think, Nick?
Yeah, it's deemed as offensive. So yeah,
exactly. When I go to a crowd and all I see are just alcoholic tramps sitting around everywhere, that upsets me because all of their fumes seems to sort of come towards me, and then then I'm engulfed in this sweat cloud. How is that fair to me? And all I'm trying to say to everyone is I'm just trying to just explain my situation, my life story. I'm just trying to say to you, like, look, I'm trying to I'm here trying to set an example. I go to the gym, I make money, I take showers, you know, I have look, I'm wearing a nice watch, I'm wearing nice clothes, I have a belt, I smell, you can't smell me right now, but I put on aftershave because of this. All right, that's the level of respect that I have. And when I try to portray this to these fans, to these people, to my fellow professional wrestlers, instead of them chanting, "Yes, Sash, you're right. Sash is right. Sash is cash," I get Sash is trash. I get booed out the building. I'm not trying to piss anyone off, Nick. I'm just like I said before, I'm voicing my opinion. I'm just voicing my opinion. I'm not going to walk around and be like, oh, do you know what I love? I love to stand in the middle of a sort of a disgusting, sweaty mosh pit, and I love to look at. All I want to see, is just really disgusting men with just really bad haircuts, with just ulcers and like 18 chins growing hair, with like sweat patches underneath their chins. I love seeing this. I want to see. I can't wait. What makes me really happy, Nick, is when I go to a show and I see 15 Seth Rollins t-shirts all over there, all tweeting on their phones, talking about they're going to see a 7-star bang. I'm not going to do that, but the other people will. And if you don't do that, then you're labeled as the bad guy. Oh, he's trying to piss you off. He's trying to no. I'm just voicing my opinion. And for some reason, there's only a select few that agree with me. One of them is Gallas, the other is myself, and I'm not going to name drop anyone else. But the majority of people on the scene, outside of this scene, seem to have this thing like he's trying to piss them off. I'm not. I'm just being me. I'm just being me. There is nothing different. What you see here is what you get. I'm sitting right now in the comfort of one of my homes. Okay, so I'm away on business today. That's why I'm sitting here. But I'm just comfortable. This is how I dress. Do I wear sunglasses inside my own house? Of course I do.
Yeah. I do it.
Exactly. It's good. This is a good bit of business right here.
So yeah, all right, okay. Trying to piss somebody off. I'll retract that phrase.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it.
What I would say then is to basically just mind blag them. And sometimes when you're doing the promo, it's not to piss them off, it's just to confuse them, to mess with their heads. So you get the upper hand. Like you said, if you're in their head and you're living rent free, you're one step ahead already.
Of course, but I also do it for myself. You know, sometimes I get a little bit ahead of myself. You know, there's a lot that I want to say. There's a lot that I want to do. I want to. So I'm a very expressive person. Okay, and I don't think I have the time to say everything that I feel to my opponent when I see them as I'm kicking them in the face, because part of me is also thinking, well, Sash, if you're kicking them in the face and you're calling them a dirty, disgusting homo at the same time, because that is what they are, then how will they remember that? You know, how will they? They need to remember, and then how can they go away, Nick? How can they go away and improve themselves? Okay, I mean, take memes for example. That dirty tramp that he is. Okay, take him. Okay, he needs to remember that after before I whoop his ass and after I whoop his ass, that I'm trying to better him in a way. You understand? So hopefully he'll go away. He'll have a haircut. You know, hopefully he'll get into some better shape. Hopefully he'll look at his protein to carbs ratio. Hopefully look at that. Hopefully get a personal trainer. Hopefully all of this will happen. But if I'm doing all of this at the same time as kicking him in the face, punching him in the face, choking him, and having Gallas throw him around like the scumbag that he is, then he's not going to remember all of this. CTE is a real thing. People do get concussion, they do get injured. So I'm doing this for the benefit of them, give them something to think about. I need to let some of this go myself too. And like I said, I'm just trying to just help people. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Future Wrestling. It's one of the biggest. Well, you are. So you may have seen. I mean, I'm sure that you did. There was this 8-month long rivalry between myself and Xander Zulu, and because again, he's one of these people that I don't like what he represented. He more or less a tribute act to The Rock, but he sort of stayed away from that now. But I had to keep making it known to him, like, look, Xander, I'm trying to make. There was one bit where he wanted a rematch with me, and I was like, you can't get this rematch until you do as I say. And one of the things were I made him do 1,000 squats. Okay, now do I like making people do 1,000 squats? No, of course not. It's horrible. But this man has not shed the COVID weight that he put on during lockdown 3 years ago. Okay, and he seems happy with just being the disgusting human being that he is. I'm trying to help him here. Okay, I'm trying to help him. Like, okay, I will grace you with my presence in this ring, and I will whoop your ass once again. But I'm trying to make you lose some weight too. And apparently, no one likes that. Apparently, that's like some mean thing to do. I'm just trying to say, look, you're a dirty, fat, disgusting, fat pig. All right, you need to stop being this. And I'm trying to help him, but then I get labeled as the bad guy. But if you want me to be the bad guy for trying to help someone, fine, I'll be the bad guy.
That's it, man. Everybody's going to have different perspectives. You could think that you're being encouraging, offering some sort of useful insight, and some people will take it as negative, or that you're just being mean or body shaming. You're never going to please everybody, so just keep doing you, man. Just want to say I'm going to start wrapping stuff up, but I just want to throw this out there. Obviously, after everything that I've seen of yours and talking to you now, I just want to sort of say, to me, it seems like MJF is a poor man's Cash Money Sash.
Listen, I don't want to be compared to these people. Obviously, there's certain people that I'm aware of that like to speak their minds. MJF is one of them. Roddy Piper was also one of them. Iron Sheik, you know, me being from Iranian descent, he's obviously one of my heroes. You got Tate Mayfair's around here as well. He's another one that I respect. All of us. I think if you had a house party or a round table or a business meeting with all of us, we would all get on. Okay, maybe we would rub each other the wrong way, because maybe I would have an opinion about someone, about one of them that they won't like, or maybe they'll have something to say about me. But I don't like the whole, oh, you're like this. The only thing we have in common, is that we speak our minds and we're not afraid to do so. All right, and we are a very select few in this business. All right, R.I.P. New Jack. We're a very select few. Now the other 98%, they're the cowards who don't say anything. They're another brick in the wall, Nick. You understand? They're just replaceable. You know, you can just take them out and put someone else in. Let's put wrestler A in with wrestler Bacon, or whatever you want to, because they look the same, they act the same, they dress the same, they talk the same, they say nothing. Or you will have some people that will say everything. You will see a 5-10 minute little rant on Twitter, and they're going, how can you say so much but you're saying nothing at all? I don't want to start quoting Ronnie Keating on you, but literally that is what it is. You understand? And yeah, some of us we do stand out because we like to, but are scared of the system, so to say. All right.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say that I'm a poor man's this or he's a poor man's that. They're doing what they're doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. And I think we all have the same level of respect, and we would all get on. And that's why we all have the same outlook on this business. I think that's why people see these similarities, and then you can see the same similarities about the other people who don't say anything. You see around here, you see this wall here. You see how white and bland it is. All right, that's the majority of the professionals in this industry right now. I don't care if you're from England or America or wherever. That right there, that's what the majority is like. Just bland, just nothing about them. And then you got this guy here.
That's, to me, is the perfect way to start wrapping things up, dude. That was, very well said. I'm not going to disagree with you in any way, shape, or form. Do you want to plug your businesses, your socials? You know, where you're going to be? Obviously, you know, you're at House of Pain on Friday and you're at Tidal on Sunday.
House of Pain on Friday. Look, Cash Money Sash, Money Mountain, we are everywhere. Okay, but for the next upcoming few weeks, you've got House of Pain in Nottingham in Hucknall. That's where I'm going to be on Friday. I've got I'm seeing a certain Tinderella on Saturday, so I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to be. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to be a little private time between me and her. On Sunday, I'm going to be at Tidal, whooping Memes and Adonis Payne, and so that's going to be quite fun. We do have some more. We have some more plans for some returning promotion. Obviously, the tag team belt over here. We're going to be down at Win Wrestling on I think it's June the 3rd. I've got we've got a championship exhibition match. I'm going to be whooping Jason Joshua and Mia Cortez. That'll be an easy, nice work. All work is easy work. And like I said, you're going to see us all around. You know, True Grit, they just announced their next show, so keep your eyes on that. You're going to see Money Mountain there as well. And as soon as I'm going to call JC after this and find out who I've got, because I want to start collating my thoughts before I start putting that on the internet. So yeah, we got that. And like I said, you will see. If there's a promotion worthy, like I said, the promotion worthy of anything, tag team wrestling, tag team gold, or if they've got some sort of benefit to Cash Money Stash, you will see me, you will see Money Mountain on that show. And if I'm not on that show, you'll most likely see me in the crowd somewhere, scanning the competition and getting a feel for what these guys are actually doing for the business and for this industry. Cash Money Stash, I am everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Okay, all work is easy work. Stash is cash. But before I go, I just want to stay, and you can play this. I saw that you got that absolute dosser, Joel Jackson, Troublesome Heart. that stupid Dosser. He's going to be on your show later on. And I just want to make him aware that no matter where he goes, no matter what he does, just like his football team, just like Arsenal, he's the bottle job. He's the Dosser. He's going to fold. Just like his team will fold, he's going to do nothing. And when this season's over, Joe Jackson, Jackson Hall, whatever your name is, Troublesome Hall, whatever moniker you want to go with, Black Crown, whatever you want to go with. When this season's over, you understand, you will never hear the end of this. And you will never hear how much of a wasteman you truly are. And that's coming from me, from Cash Money Sash, because Sash is cash. Make sure he sees that. Make sure you play that for him. Even before you start the interview, I want him to see that too. I want him to just clip that for him, play that.
I'll add it to the highlight reels, of which there will be many, dude, because it has been an awesome chat. And yeah, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, sitting down, talking to me. It is legitimately appreciated.
You are welcome, my friend. You are welcome, my friend. You wanted a star. You just got the biggest star in British wrestling today on your show. You're welcome for all the numbers. You're welcome for all the views. No need to thank me. You never have to.
Thank you very much, dude. Hopefully, gives me the rub. So thank you for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell, get notifications, follow us on many socials. All the links will be in the description. And we will see you again.
Make sure you put in my Instagram too. Sash M87 is my Instagram. I'm more active there. Or you obviously have my Twitter. But the Instagram, you will see all the latest news. You'll see all the latest thoughts, all the latest opinions, all the latest schedule, everything. You'll see it all on my Instagram, but obviously follow me on Twitter as well. Try to catch me, I dare you.
Gentlemen, thank you. Ladies, thank you for watching. Sash, you're a star. Thank you very much. And we'll see you all very soon.